Yo, did anyone else notice that these went up overnight? Trying to tell you guys, man, these things are gonna skyrocket. Oh, what's going on with your YouTubes? Jumperman Chris here. We're coming back at y'all with another vid. Now, what we have it today, I want to talk about some good holds that was in 2020 that's gonna be really good holds for 2021. Usually, I like to hold shoes for like at least about 6 months to a year. And yes, I know 2020, things didn't go exactly according to plan, you know. It's just been really bad, especially with how the economy was and just how things were and just the whole situation, how the world is, man. It's just been a bad situation. So things didn't go according to plan, but I think once 2021 happens, hopefully the world will get back together, the economy will go back up, prices will go back up too. You know, tax season's coming out. I heard we're supposed to get a stimulus check too as well. So I just want to let you guys know that, hey, there should be light at the end of the tunnel. Because I know a lot of people out there are holding on to pairs, they're stacking up pairs, and it is what it is. We're just waiting for the end of the light of the tunnel. I know a lot of us are. Trust me, I am too. There's some things here that I'm really nervous about, but hey, I think that we should be good, man. But low key, some of these things went up really, really well, and some of them haven't went up too much. So I just want you guys to know what are some good holds, and maybe even what are some bricks to resell to as well. So let's get into this. Of course, the first I want to talk about are the Air Jordan 1s, the popular, you know, of course, the GRs, you know, the Core Purples, the Royal Toes. These things did go up. They're all about like that 300 range right now on StockX, but I feel like in due time, let's give it to about at least maybe summertime, or even like during like maybe even tax season. Yeah, man, I think these shoes will still hit about, like I was saying, like this shoe could potentially hit about that 350, maybe in 400 if you hold them even longer for sure. This shoe here, the Smoke Grays, I'm very surprised how these things haven't skyrocketed just up, but give it time, these things will, I feel like these things will go up. It just only makes sense. It's a clean colorway, it's very well done. Especially GS sizes too. You know, you definitely want to invest in some GS sizes, especially in Air Jordan 1s, from size about 5 to 7. Typically, Air Jordan 1s, everyone always go for the money size, which is about an 8 to a 9.5. I think times have changed, so even bigger sizes, like from a size 10.5 to about even a 12, maybe even 13, are gonna do pretty freaking well too. So I think all pairs gonna do well in due time. Just give it some. And man, the Mocha ones, wow, did these things not shot up to the moon? Like, oh my goodness, these things were like sitting at like 380 course day one or so, which is not saying that's bad, you know, that's still pretty freaking good. But I was thinking this shoe in due time will hit up about like that 400, 450, and my goodness, they're already freaking there. They're going for like 400 to 420 almost every size. So Mocha's too much to demand, too much hype around this thing, man. If you guys are still holding on to pairs, definitely still continue holding. This thing, shoes here, definitely can probably hit up to about 500. Whatever the Obsidians are, these things are probably gonna match it. All right, some more Air Jordan 1s, some bricks to riches. Now, I know some people that were buying these out at an event that I was at last time, and these are the Black Toe Goes. I'm not saying that these things are gonna shoot up to the moon or anything like that, but in due time, I feel like this is probably like a $300 shoe. So yeah, guys can probably get the shoe for very cheap. I'm thinking prices right now are probably like at that 200 range, which is basically like what, maybe a couple bucks over retail. If you guys can get invested in this, you guys have the capital, definitely try to grab up some pairs. I only grabbed a couple. I didn't do too crazy just because I do want to see how the market is, and I feel like these are going to go up too as well. Bricks to resell on these for sure. Same go with the gold mids, man. Those things are pretty much bricks, but I think they're gonna do well too. Let's go with some Yeezys. You guys should already know. I pulled out a couple of these here. So I pulled out some of the Yeezys that came out so far this in 2020. I feel like the cinders probably already capped out. They were probably sitting at what, like that 380, 400 range. So I think they're pretty much capped. These here, the carbons and the Yes for Reals, I don't really have much hope on these, man. So if you are holding up pairs, maybe the carbons will do much better, but these here, I don't know. I feel like these are going to be like the Centrins, man. Like, this is going to be a super long hold if you want these things to go up, if they go up anything at all. Zions, I still have hope in Zion just because it's a clean colorway. I really like this shoe here too as well, but it's gonna take a while for these things to go up because there were just so many freaking pairs. Now this one might surprise you guys, man. I think this is a shoe that I wouldn't want to sleep on. These are the Naturals. Yes, they're somewhat kind of bricks right now, especially on bigger sizes, but man, did you guys not see the small sizes? I was buying on small sizes, I really was. And the small sizes on these things are doing pretty freaking good. So the men's sizes will do pretty decent well in due time. I think these things are gonna do better than these here for sure, but in due time, these things are gonna do fine, you know? All white Yeezys, a clean colorway. Has a little bit of that reflective on here. Can't really see it though, but still. Now, I invested pretty heavy on these here, the blue V3s and the black ones too as well. They really haven't moved too much at all, especially during, you know, I thought these things were gonna move at least Christmas time. I was pretty much wrong on these. They basically kind of stayed where they're at. They probably even went down just a little bit. But I still have hope on these things. I still have hope. I think these things are going to do pretty well. This is still, to me, a $400 shoe in due time. So let's give it a little bit, especially when more colorways come out, you know, especially the OG ones. You guys saw how those are. Original ones, these things went up to the moon. And, you know, the sunflower ones didn't do too well. They're basically kind of like whatevs, right? So I feel like these things will do good. An all black one, you guys already know. These things will probably do better than these. And they'll go up a lot faster just because it's all black. So definitely still hang on to these, man. They're still doing pretty well. If you are hanging on to these things and you got them for retail, still hang on to them. I think these things are going to do pretty freaking well. These are going to at least be up to like that 450 range at least. Now the best Yeezys to hold for sure, it has to be the bread Yeezys. It's going to take a little bit for these things to go back up just because I feel like they made a lot of pairs. A lot of people got W's, but still OG colorway with that bread. This is definitely gonna go up. Still, it was still very well demand, and you guys already saw how that was, how this release was. It was crazy amount of demand on these things, and just look at how the static black ones are. Like how much have these went up in over time. And these things were basically when they released again Black Friday, they were basically running like bricks too. And these things are gonna be just fine. So still hang on to these things, man. Dunk highs, they usually don't do too well compared to a dunk low, which is kind of strange to me because like a dunk high is basically kind of pretty freaking close to an Air Jordan 1 compared to like a mid Air Jordan 1 or a Jordan 1 low. Highs, they don't do really well too for a low, but it is what it is. But I'm just saying, don't sleep on these colorways because you can actually get these things. They're actually pretty cheap. They're only going for what, like 200 to 250 depending on certain sizes. And these things here too are not doing all that great, but man, this one here, of course, if you would have got like a little logo right here, it would be worth like thousands of dollars. But you know, whatever. I think in the long run that these will do better than both of these later down the road. I'm just putting it out there. Now, the Japan here, the Japan ones. Of course, I forgot to add another one. So I'm telling you guys right now, don't sleep on the Japan ones. I know the silver's kind of tanked a little bit, but still, these things are going for really cheap. If you guys can get GS sizes especially, I think these things are going to do pretty well. Maybe nothing too crazy. I still see these things to be at least a $300 shoe. I know they're not doing too well at all right now. They're basically kind of, they tank down pretty good. They're like what, GS size like 200. These are only going for like 220, you know, for men's sizes. But man, the navies, these are doing very well right now. These things were like day one, you could have got these things for like 220, 230. Now they're going for like almost 300. Yeah, I still see these things keep continuing to go up too, the navy. Now, these are a little bit more expensive to invest in. But I'm just saying, if you do have pairs or you got them for retail, I know these things are not going too crazy right now, but just pay attention to 2021. These things can shoot up to the freaking moon. Definitely has potential. We'll start off with the Cell 5s. Now, it's all Off-White 5. I don't think these things are going to do better than the blacks, but if the black metallic ones goes up, these things are going to go up too. So right now, these things are going for about like that 600 range, depending on sizes. By next year, this is going to be like an $800, maybe to $1,000 shoe if you're lucky. Just watch, because it's freaking clean colorway. It's off-white for sure. And same with these two. These things are going to go up. So if these goes up, these gonna go up. Unions, I'm telling you guys, I think these things are gonna shoot up to the freaking moon, for real. And if you guys haven't paid attention, the guavas and the blacks, they're almost about the same price range. I know there's a lot of hype on the guavas because it's an LA exclusive, it's a little more limited, blah blah blah, whatever. But at the end of the day, to me, in my opinion, I always felt like the black ones were better. And like I said, the pricing on these things are pretty much the same right now. You know, these will probably be a little bit more, but still, these are pretty close to the price range. And I'm telling you, man, by next year, you can see these things go up to the moon. You guys already saw how the Jordan 1s were, the Union 1s. I mean, what are these things? Both like at 2K? My goodness. I'm not saying they're going to do that type of price, but I still seen these things going up to at least 1K, maybe even 1,200 if you're lucky. Guys, that's pretty much it for all the shoes that I think it's going to be a pretty good hold. Of course, a lot of this all depends how the world is, of course. Hopefully, the world will get its stuff together and we can get back to norm. If we do get back to norm, all bets are off and things will go back and smooth and be back to normal, right? Yeah, that's wishful thinking. But we'll see how things go, of course, economy and stuff like that, and how work is, and it a lot of things varies, right? But still, like I said, you know, we're about to go on tax season. I heard we're supposed to get another stimulus check, maybe unemployment too as well. Once all that happens, remember last year when we all had something like that, like how every release was selling out, like everything was selling out, and all the price was going like crazy high. Yeah, we might get one of those in a couple few months in the year in 2021. So just pay attention for stuff like that, because that's when it's going to be like a good seller's market. Because right now, everything's all bad, man. It's really bad. It's a buyer's market. It is what it is. You know, people want to lowball. People trying to attack. I've been in 2 events so far late this year. And it was really a bad time. I should have known. But it is what it is. You know, it's hard to sell things. And I get it, man. There's a lot more sellers out there than there are buyers. So, hey, it just is what it is, man. Hopefully things will get better. Remember, this is all in my opinion. You know, just go with your gut feeling. Don't always listen to me. I'm not always right. I'm not a freaking guru. Can't tell the future. This is just what I kind of go with my experience and what I think is going to happen, in my opinion. But just go with your gut and you guys can just go from there, right? Anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thank you guys so much. You guys are nothing but amazing, man. 2021, man. We're almost there, man. We're almost over it, man. We only got a couple more days left, but hey. Anyway, guys, appreciate y'all. Love y'all. If you guys don't mind, please hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if it's your first time here. Comment down below and please hit that bell for all the notifications for when I do drop vids. And don't forget to follow me on all my social media at JumpmanChris on IG. Sometimes I'm on Twitter. And don't forget Snapchat. Anyway, guys, appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Thank you guys so much. I'm Jumpman Chris. Peace. Pew.